Yeah, this is really a nice character interactions. It's about time we saw something like that. Hi, this is me, the angry anime fan, the semi-retired, although only Eden Zero despair reviewer, so to speak. Yeah, it's a very long intro. Probably not even meant to be an intro itself. Long story short, I used to do a lot of reviews. Nowadays I don't, but I mostly only review Eden Zero because, well, why the heck not? And, well, what can we say about this chapter? It's good. The story is moving forward, although there have been some hints over there that seems to imply that, yeah, unfortunately, Nero is going to be an antagonist. But there are some nice interactions over here that seems to suggest we're gonna see something new up and coming. Who knows? But what happens in this chapter? Well, first of all, we have a color page details almost well, not all the characters, but characters in some we've seen, including their hair colors. And I have to say, Hiro Mishima is a very big fan of green color in this manga. There are many people who have green color because it turns out that Cure also has green color, and for some strange reason, Wizard do too. I mean, I'm saying strange reason for Wizard because, well, yeah, he's Wizard and Witch is Witch because, as you know, Witch also has green hair. So I guess that makes sort of sense. They are related, maybe, but who knows, really? But why do Nero? No, sorry. But why do Cure have green hair? This almost makes his connections to Jean and Klein, who you also know also has green hair. Technically, Mother also has some sort of green, although her is more aquamarine, so I guess that doesn't count. So I'm just saying, is there a connection to Cure and Chris and Klein? Who knows, really? But not as diverse hair color as I was hoping a lot of these characters to have. But that's beside the point. Also, there's two other people here in this shot, and we'll find more about them in the chapter. Minor spoiler alert until we get it. Either way, the crew examines the things as they all declare that if they follow the ether and build up the ether, they may very well one day find their way to Mother. And now Laguna is temporarily in this place until he can find a different place to live in. Because it turns out that's the deal that which made with Laguna. That is, Laguna is a wanted criminal in the Sakura cosmos, but maybe not so much as in Aoi cosmos. Maybe he can find somewhere to live. That is the deal. Although that still doesn't exactly explain why he decided to just become an actor anyway in Sakura. I know he did disguising, but still. Of course, both he and Chris refuses to be friends with Shiki. Makes me wonder if that's gonna be changed. But Wise is the only one who's unhappy with this. After all, he cannot forgive Draken from what Draken did. And that is rightfully so. Draken is someone who should not be forgiven. I'm still a bit on the fence about that. About the Wise being so anti to them. But here we enter something very nice thing that which asks Shiki if she can call him the Demon King. At the first, Shiki is a bit reluctant because that's what Siggy was called. However, the four Star Shining Maidens, including Homura, despite not being one of the original, declares that Siggy is no longer their friend. He is their enemy, and he has no right to call himself the Demon King. But here comes some very strange. Shiki wonders though, but isn't the Demon King a bad guy? I mean, Rebecca points out, now you realize. But which here strangely says, the Demon King is a title for the king of Magi Mech. He rules Magi Mech and shares his ether with machines. As a side note here, saying in Japanese the word for demon is the same as the word for magical. I mean, I don't know Japanese. I thought Akuma meant demon. Although, from what I hear, he is not called the Akuma O in the Japanese one. So maybe this is a different kanji of meaning magical that also means demon. Because I actually looked up what Magimek meant, and that is Makuryu, which is very similar to the world of Demon King, Makuryu, something like that. So in a way, it's not that the Demon King is the king of demons; he's the king of Magimek, It's interesting Japanese wordplay there that you only know if you do your research. So, well, with that, Shiki levitates most of his friends and say, Magimek King, I like it. Meaning perhaps that from now on, Shiki is gonna be known as the Magimek King and not the Demon King. If you ask me, the Demon King title is a little bit more badass, but it would be a good way to separate him from Siggy. After all, Siggy is currently the Demon King, the evil one. So Shiki being the Magimek King would mean the same but also different. So yeah, it would be a good counterpart to it all. But now it switches to a very strange picture. We actually switches to Elsie's crew, the Skull Fairy, as she has also entered the Out Cosmos, as we all know, and in the Carl sector. And here she mentions something interesting. She wonders if Siggy has gone to meet up with Nero, because apparently they are both kings. Maybe he has met Nero to pay respect to him or to destroy each other. Well, as you know, Siggy's goal is to rule over all non-metallic thing and destroy them, or destroy those that doesn't share his vision. Meaning very likely that he is not gonna meet Nero to pay his respect unless Nero is for some reason a machine. He's probably gonna destroy him. So that, but the fact that Elsie herself doesn't really want to deal with Nero seems to suggest that no, she is not an ally to Nero. It once again goes into the hand-to-hand that the six Orasian says Galactica may not exactly be a group of united people. It's just a title given to the most feared and powerful people that is beyond the concept of law. So they may not exactly be allies after all. This seems to suggest that yes, Nero is going to be an antagonist. But here, something pretty interesting happened. Justice ship shows up, as we all know that it would. However, when Jesse informs of that, suddenly Elsa says, you can drop the act now. You called him here. Meaning that she knew Jesse was a spy. And it turns out she has known for a month from now on. Because, well, she has an escape pod and just send him out where Justice Fleet can pick him up. Because he doesn't really want to kill Jesse because he's a boy. This really does paint some interesting pictures of Elsie once again. This once again seems to imply that, yeah, Elsie is not as bad as the rumors say her to be. But it's still not answering exactly on what she has done as a pirate. Or is she that she really does seem to consider her crew her family? I mean, it goes hand to hand with the character she's based on, Ersa, who always saw people as a family but didn't really care much about everything else. We still do see some more of her crew. There's just one thing I find a little bit of a disappointment so far. And that is we don't see so much females in our crew. I want to have some more female blood in our crew. Come on. If this crew is really going to be based on the Fairy Tale Guild, then at least give us something like that. So, well, she didn't say anything to anyone else because she thought, Jesse was cute. But then the goggles guy points out that he knows all our secrets, but two people show up. Actually, ironically, well, not the first one. Jesse was the first one of Elsie's crew that was mentioned, but again, he wasn't a part of the crew. He was a spy. But what is interesting is we meet these two new people, and they are the first one that actually got named, not the goggles guy that we have actually seen since the very beginning. And according to them, they have made the untransmittable thoughts, even though Jesse thinks he sent it. Which just makes me a little bit curious. Is that really true? Because it seems from everything, the information, that everything Jesse has sent has been sent. Either way, these two people are named Hyoga and Goem. Their designs do look familiar, but hey, it's Hiro Mishima. You have to expect only 6 faces. What makes interesting is their names, and which makes their design pretty interesting. I don't know so much about Goen, but Hyoga is taken from a word I heard from ice. And I heard somewhere to say that Goen is meaning something like fire, maybe brilliant fire. After all, Natsu from Fairy Tales attack was Kairno Goen, meaning probably Goen means brilliant flame. Hyuga is related to something like Hyo, which means eyes or something like that. And yes, the designs do look fairly similar to Grey and Natsu, although not completely, so don't get it wrong here. And Hyuga has blue hair while um, Goen has brown hair. So yeah, it's kind of a funny situation if you think about it. Ice and Fire are subordinates to Elsie, who just look like Ersa. All in all, they also do have the same kind of a little bit dynamic as Natsu and Grey has. The fact that they fight, although Goen is the hot-headed one and Hyuga always reacts with stone face. Either way, it also reveals that another reason why Elsie didn't do anything to Jessie, which is pretty strange, is the fact that she accepts everyone who gets to her crew. Because according to her, one used to be a doctor and one used to be a firefighter, meaning that Go and Hyuga used to be a doctor and a firefighter respectively. So, and now they're part of a pirate crew. So she thought that she could change Jesse's thought. But instead he just says, "You'll never beat the Interstellar Union Army," which seems to suggest that he does have a grudge against Elsie as well. But it also seems to suggest that another reason why Elsie is a pirate is because she does not agree with the Interstellar Union Army. Another implication that they may not be as kind as we think. Again, this is a pirate lady, but still. So with those words, she sends Elsie out, which is picked up by Justice. Goen and Hyuga says that they should just do background checks, but Elsie says that we should welcome all, because that's what the Eden Zero crew did to her when she was a small girl with nothing else to get for her. As we see a cute flashback of a young girl, Elsie. Yeah, she does look a lot like the young Ersa in that scene. She even seems to have the same rags, which once again implications that Elsie may have actually been a slave or something like that, just as Ersa was in Fairy Tail. In fact, there are many implications to say that Elsie is very special compared to a lot of humans, that she is so immensely strong. So I'm just saying, what if she was a bioengineered weapon? I mean, yes, if it turns out that she was a slave or something like that, I would slap my head and say, "Oh, come on, you're doing that route again?" But hey, it's what it is. She did say that her home planet was ravaged in war, so it doesn't necessarily mean to be that. But it is a cute panel, how the 4-star Shrine Maidens all saw Elsie as the cute little girl. So yeah, she does treat her friends in her crew like family. And now they're heading toward Foresta with food to die for. Elsewhere, Jin and Laguna are eating sloppily as they are even talking to each other. It's pretty ironic, though, that they seem to get along so very well. Also, Laguna's thoughts here is, I want to say, naive, if not a little bit unjustifiable. Is the fact that, yes, he worked for Draken, and as we heard later on, Draken needed the elemental four to stabilize his ether. But according to him, he admits he were in the underground, but he didn't really think he did anything wrong. Because after all, Draken didn't kill people for no reason, but we learn later on that no reason was lying. Essentially, he stole the life force and he gave them a fate worse than death. So in a way, Laguna's words of saying, "I didn't think he did anything wrong, therefore I think I did anything wrong," is a slight hypocritical and slight naivety in it all. But it also does show that Laguna may not have so very high moral standards. It's very clear that Chris Jin does not have that. But Klein, on the other hand, seems to like what this is going. So, well, but Moscow is getting there with food away, as Klein calls him, Jin's best friend, although of course Chris Jin denies that. But it does seem pretty cool that Moscow is the one talking to them. I wonder if they're going to be freed. What makes the things even more interesting is they are heading towards Foresta, the same planet that Elsie is heading for. A planet with high gourmand and many things more. And for some strange reason, the crew headed towards there 15 years ago. Once again, following a path that was set for them 15 years ago. And they find a curious name, Master Sinolith, instructor of the Magimek arts, that has been dead for thousands of years. He was apparently the founder of the gravity ether gear tactics, and this was his home planet. Are we implying that he was the creator of the Saturn's gravity or something like that? I'm not really sure. Huh? What's this? Someone is actually saying hi on this chat. Hi, Jay Parks. Oh, sorry, I cannot say your name. Jay Praksash Narin Sharma. Hi there. Nice to see you. And what is this word? So they are trying. So the crew try to actually meet someone in that way. This Master Sinolf. Haven't we heard that name before? I mean, I'm thinking back about the heroes of Sakura Cosmos, but nah, maybe it's not one of them. But if the crew of old met that guy here, and if he's been dead thousands of years, isn't it possible that his ghost is there? The founder of the gravity ether. He may very well be the founder of the gravity ether gear. A ghost, maybe? Is he gonna make Shiki stronger? Well, sorry that this review is so very long, but there's just so much things to talk about. But the chapter ends curiously as we see three people in the planet, actually mentioning Siggy and saying that he has wreaked havoc in their sector, and now they're going to start purging this planet, as well as kill all the bots. They are Poseidon Nero's commando team unit, the girl Brittany, and an alien-like guy Orc, and a flamboyant guy with long hair called Mora. Purge the planet, Siggy. This does imply that they know about Siggy. That they know about the planet that Siggy is here. But purge the planet, is that another implication that Nero is going to be an antagonist? Or is it possible that Eden's one has already been here and has somehow turned the robots against the humans that is here, and that is why they say they're gonna purge the planet, because they're gonna purge the robots? So many questions, but a good chapter nonetheless. So what are my thoughts about this, you ask? Well, I thought this very big information was good enough, but hey, it was just info dump, so I guess I didn't answer that question. I mean, I gave it a rating of 8, but yeah, I maybe should give it a very higher. I like this chapter because it gets deep information, and we saw also a lot of mystery. Once again, the implications that the former Draken gang may have heel face turn, but I bet the biggest information was the fact that how Elsie sees her crew. She sees her crew as family, and she does seem to treat them well. That was very liking. But the biggest mystery, of course, is this planet and this Magimek Master. Are we going to have a training arc? But the Poseidon Nero there, I don't know what to feel, but I am excited. This was a very good chapter. But if you have any other thoughts, just give it to me later. Because this is the end of this. Sorry, it was a very long review. There was just so much to talk about. If you have anything else to ask to me about this Foresta arc, well, you can always write on the comment section. Other than that, give me your thoughts if you have any.